help but notice the seemingly non-stop trains and boat traffic in the coastal community of New London and Groton, Connecticut. But what you won't see is tucked inside this highly guarded building on the Thames River. Until now.
This right here is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It's the United States' most advanced attack submarine being built by General Dynamics Electric Boat. It's similar to this sub, but better. It's fast, quiet, and nearly invisible underwater, undetectable to the nation's adversaries. Technology that's so top secret, Channel 3 News is the only media allowed to see it.
And everything in this area is good for filming.
And take you inside. This is what will be the USS Vermont.
The human eyeball is our greatest threat in some cases.
Henry Ronke will command the sub.
We conduct anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare if necessary, mine warfare. We can support special operations forces ashore if required. We can conduct intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. So looking around to see what we see and then reporting that back.
The Vermont is 377 feet long, longer than a football field, 34 feet in diameter, and comes with a nearly $3 billion price tag. Sounds big, right? It is, but with 135 crew members living on it, sometimes for 3 months underwater, it's tight.
The biggest challenge living on a submarine is probably space.
This is a bunk room. It's one of the bunk rooms, right? We have a lot of space, right?
Not enough beds for everyone, so many submariners must alternate sleep times. It's called hot racking. The bed still warm from the last guy when you climb in.
You have to be used to getting close to people.
The boat is designed to utilize every inch of space, and most spaces have dual roles. The vessel's meeting room for administrators is also their dining room and surgical table, if need be.
This is called control.
But what we can't show you is what makes this nuclear-powered sub the Navy's best of the best.
Classified.
An entourage of top officials from Electric Boat and the military covered up sensitive equipment that could be stolen by adversaries, fiercely protective of state-of-the-art hardware and software they didn't want on video.
That's probably getting a little more specific than we want to get into.
This is an extremely rare look inside a submarine. In fact, we can't show you most of it for security reasons. But this is the control center, basically the brains behind the boat. And the pilot and co-pilot will sit here. But this is it. This is the end of the line. We can't show you what's beyond the camera, which you can't see, because that's off limits. Its missions, what it will do and where, also top secret. Officials won't say. But the USS Vermont will be capable of launching an attack with torpedoes, missiles, and payload tubes, allowing greater firepower while hidden by the sea. It will deploy an estimated 15 times over the next 33 years.
If in combat, this is where the orders will be given. This is where we would execute as necessary.
A maze of pipes, tubes, and wires right now, but the USS Vermont will eventually play a vital role in national security. And being on its maiden voyage is special for submariners. The first crew members become so-called plank owners. Their names put on a plaque inside the sub.
That's one of the reasons why I came here, right? How many opportunities did you get to be a plank owner, be the first crew of a ship?
It's why Todd Lewis volunteered on the Vermont. In fact, all submariners must volunteer. Training is rigorous, very difficult, and family and friends may not hear from them for months at a time. Once underwater, there's no contact. Communication restricted to military missions by just a few on board.
And what that does is it builds that trust between every crew member who goes through that process. There's no other feeling in the world than, that thrill, that excitement that you train for, that you're ready for, that you want to do.
Ian Blackmore of Danville will also be a plank owner on the USS Vermont.
I'm just proud that I'm representing Vermont on it.
The Northeast Kingdom native is currently on another sub and just surfaced, though we can't say where. We talked by phone about what it means to be part of the first crew on a sub with his state's namesake.
It'll be kind of neat because, my name's always going to be there regardless of where I go. I'm just proud and happy that they named a sub after Vermont.
The rest of the crew members come from all over the U.S., but adopted the Green Mountains.
We have absolutely enjoyed the opportunity to be able to call ourselves Vermonters.
Jacob Newsom is one of the sub's pilots. He compares riding in a submarine to riding in a plane with sometimes heavy banks.
The floor kind of shifts as we change depth.
And says the first dive is always the best dive. What's it like as a submariner to take that maiden voyage on, well, what will be the USS Vermont?
When we first say dive, and we go down underneath, and there's just like that. You want to scream it from the rooftops, but at the same time, we still have a mission. We still plenty of testing. So it's an amazing feeling. I would say in one way it's like playing a video game, but then the floor starts moving and you start turning around, and it's quite a thrill to be able to know that you're moving 377 feet of American-made steel.
Construction on the Vermont began in 2014, and soon she'll be ready to dive. So a christening ceremony was just held at the Electric Boat Shipyard, a sparkling apple wine from Putney called Northern Spy. The Navy's former Deputy Assistant Secretary rallied the men who will call the USS Vermont home. The state's motto, now theirs too.
Help me share your motto with this audience. I've got the freedom and you've got the unity.